Hey, so I'm jumping on to explain. I have some bad news from this video footage. Basically, pretty much all of what I recorded, my microphone had like a loose connection, so there's a lot of like distortion and background noise. I'm really sorry about it. I can't do anything about it. When I realized, I decided I would stop filming vlog footage for this video, and just kind of salvage what I could and put the content out like in a shorter video so that it's at least not completely wasted, but also it doesn't ruin another like part of another video by being included in a longer one. So that's why this vlog is shorter. But yeah, I'm really annoyed. It's just like some of it's irritating to listen to, but not like unlistenable. So I've included some clips from that. Other clips were like so distorted that like you can barely hear what I'm saying. So I've just overlaid some text to kind of explain what those clips said. But yeah, in my next vlog, I'm gonna go over what happened in this vlog in a bit more detail, like to kind of summarize. So if you absolutely hate the noise and you can't watch it, don't worry. The next one will explain like what I've done and give like a kind of update of where I'm at the beginning anyway. So it's all good. Yeah, so in this vlog, I worked through quite a lot of books on my finish it February list. I did a little bit of knitting, but haven't got too far on the crochet front. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Again, apologies for the sound, but I'm not gonna record all these clips again because it was like a week worth of clips. So yeah, hope it's listenable, and if not, I'll see you in the next one anyway. So I actually have another knitting project that I'm in the middle of that I completely forgot to share in the first video, and that is a brother that is a brother from a jumper. It's a jumper from my brother that is nearly finished. I'm halfway through the final sleeve. All the other pieces are done, and then afterwards I just need to like sew it all together. So I've already sewed the shoulders together, and I just need to like sew down the sides. So I'm gonna try and work on that this week as well because it's a gift, so it's important to get it like to the person as quickly as possible. So let's see where I'm at on the sleeve. I haven't looked at this um, since Christmas because I've been really mega busy. But now I finally have time to craft again. So how far along am I? Okay, so I've done this much of a sleeve. So it doesn't take too long to do the sleeves, luckily. Also, this is the first jumper I've ever knitted. I've only crocheted like larger pieces before, so I'm very excited that it's been going well. It's just a nice chunky wool in like stockinette stitch with a 3x3 rib for the cuffs because I thought it looked nice. And he wanted it like oversized, so I didn't want to do like a really tight rib that would like bring everything in and kind of like cinch it. So I figured that was a nice way to like do a rib without it like being too like different in diameter from the rest of the piece without having to change needle sizes because I was not ready for that step in my knitting journey yet. One size needle for a jumper is like definitely my first step. So yeah. So I'm gonna do a bit more of that tonight, I think, and then do some reading, and that'll be me for the evening. So I'm now 295 pages in. I started off at like 100 pages, so that's significantly more than the 50 pages I said I would read. The reason that I kept going for so long before updating is because I still wasn't really sure if I wanted to keep reading it or if I was going to DNF it. And the reason for that is the way that the book's written. So it's split into two parts, and part one is 250 pages out of the total 450 of the whole book. And part one is written from like multiple like time perspectives. So you've got like present day where you're kind of following the character and you don't really know what they're up to. And then you've got the past, which is kind of slowly revealing little pieces of the character's story that like kind of gradually builds into a plot that then kind of gives you the justification for part two of the book. But the way that it's written like that, it means you're jumping around and it's quite confusing and it can be quite hard to get your head around, and also like in some ways like quite slow because you're having to piece these things together, and it's very much not hand holding, like it's wanting you to do it yourself, which is fine, but 250 pages is a long time to do that for, and I think that's why I put it down in the first place at about 100, because I didn't really know what was going on. But now that I'm at part two, like by the end of part one, I feel like you know where the rest of the book is going to go. So then it's like, right, okay, here's the plan of action, and then this is the kind of plot that's going to be the rest of the book. So that has made me want to read it more, and I'm enjoying it a lot more now that I'm at part two. So very slow to start, but I am definitely interested to see where it goes from here, and to see if it's like a bit more fast paced, and to see if it sticks to like one time, or at least not like 3 or 4 different times, which was what I was struggling with in the first part. Excuse me. So yeah, I am enjoying it now, and I will finish it. I've only got 150 pages to go, so I should finish in a couple of days, hopefully. And I'll let you know what I think when I've actually finished the book. By Layla Motley. I'm also reading Ancillary Mercy by Anne Leckie, and I'm reading She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai. So I think honestly this weekend I'm probably just going to focus on these, and take a bit of time off of the finish of February, because I've read the ones that I was most confident in liking now, and now I've got to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like the rest, so I can take a little break. Maybe tomorrow I'll try and do like 50 pages of one of them and see how I get on. But yeah. So, quick update for you. I can't remember any of what I tried reading. Like, I remember the basic premise of this book, which is pretty much what is on the blurb. And like a couple of small snippets of little interactions that happened between some characters. But like, I don't think I have enough to like jump back in in the middle. So this is going to be the first one that I put back on my shelf as to be read rather than started, because I genuinely can't remember anything of what happened. So I will just pick this up at another time with a fresh start and start from the beginning. So this one's officially out of the challenge, so one more down. Hi, it's now Wednesday night, and I haven't done much reading for this challenge since I last updated, if any. I've read other books a little bit, but I've been pretty busy this week, honestly. I have decided, I didn't even have to read 20 pages, honestly, for this one. I decided, like, flipping through this, trying to find my place, that I do definitely want to give it another go, partly because I've read another Bernardine Evaristo book since then, like since I tried this first time, and I enjoyed it, so I'm willing to give her another go, for sure. So tonight I'm gonna try and get through 50 pages or around that of Stone Diaries by Carol Shields. I am currently 139 pages into this. It's a like 330-page book. A little bit less than that, I think, because there's some kind of stuff at the end. No, about 340. So yeah, if I don't enjoy the next 50 pages, then I'm gonna put it down, because it's not worth it if I don't like it that much. I'm trying to be more strict, especially after the last one where I was like, I don't know if I like this that much. So yeah, that's my plan for just now. So I'm gonna try and do that and see how it goes. Okay, so update. I think I remember why I stopped now. So this is a book with like a big family tree. Oh, I just lost my place. Oh crap. Oh. I'll go to find it. There's a big family tree. Don't do it again. And so you kind of know like the relationship, especially if you flip back to it, like you know kind of who's gonna marry who, stuff like that. It's like a big generational story. I think one of the reasons I stopped is because I've gotten to this point where these two characters, Daisy and Barker, on the family tree, it shows they get married, right? Barker was born in 1883. Daisy was born in 1905. And I think the previous part of the book showed Daisy like growing up as like a child and Barker being like an adult in her life. And now he's in love with her. And I was just like, no, don't like that. Especially with it being like, what's 83 to 05? He's 22 years older than her. And they get married. I don't like it. They get married in 1936. So she is... Oh, that's a bit weird. They get married in 1936, so she's 31, and then that means he's like 50, 53? Okay. Well, I mean, that's not as bad, because she's already a lot older, but he's like, I think he's like in his I think he's in like his 30s at this point, and he's like writing to her. And she would be a child at this point. And it's just making it a bit weird for me. I'm gonna finish this chapter at least. Which it looks like it's very long. I think this might be one of these books where like the chapters don't start on a new page. Yeah. I'm gonna try and make sense of whether I'm okay with this relationship. Okay, yeah, so I can read until page 165. And I'll see. I'll see what I think. Yeah, okay, so I went back to remind myself of why this made me uncomfortable. On page 84, the girl, Daisy, is a small child, has a bad case of pneumonia, and Barker is being referred to by her as Uncle Barker, because he was already a professor at a university where she was staying nearby. I think maybe his mother was looking after her because her mum died or something. So yeah, Uncle Barker, at some point during her growing up, has fallen in love with her, and that just grosses me out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put this one down. It's not just for that reason. Like, bear with me. It's also because this is like a generational saga, and I have found that I only like those in very certain circumstances. So, for example, Pachinko, I absolutely loved it. I learned so much about like a different culture and like history that I didn't know, and it was really really cool. Another example though that I hated is 500 Years of Solitude. 500 Years of Solitude, which a lot of people absolutely adore. I find it really boring and really difficult to follow. And I find I'm kind of 50-50 with historical fiction in general. And this one's writing is lovely, but there are some plot points that I don't like, and I'm not finding it interesting enough to want to read another 300 pages. So it is gonna go. Do you know what? It's one of these ones where I feel like maybe in 10 years I would adore this. But I just don't have the patience for it right now. So yeah, I'm gonna give it away to someone who might actually read it, and in 10 years, if I suddenly have an inkling for a generational saga like this, I will know what I'm looking for. So that's another one off the list. Goodbye. Okay, so I'm gonna next pick up this one, Post Capitalism, A Guide to Our Future. So I am gonna go back to the beginning of the chapter that I was on. So that's actually going back like 40 pages. These chapters are long. That's probably why I did not finish this. But yeah, I think I'm gonna read. So this will take me page 177, and if I read up to part 3, that'll be to 213 pages. So that's like almost 50. And I think that I will be able to decide from there if I am up for finishing it.